here we are at Wildlife Home number 2, Dwayne Hixon site at the Belham River mouth. I'm Mike Pinkowski of the UK Overseas Territories Conservation Forum, one of the leaders of the project, and Dwayne Hixon is with me. The voice you may hear behind the camera is Anne Pinkowski, who's directing and producing this series. So, good morning, Dwayne.
Good morning.
And thank you for becoming an adopter, one of the early ones,
right.
and letting us visit your site.
Yes.
First of all, I must say, what a great achievement you've made here at the mouth of the Belham River.
Yes.
Thank you for being one of the sites in the pilot study in 2017-18, and for staying with us throughout while we secured resources to get project officers to continue that work. You've created this open space for your 9-hole golf course, which is enjoyed not just by golfers but by bird watchers, walkers and others, and a good place to relax and picnic. So you created the ponds for the wildlife as well as the green for the golf course. So that's been a lot of work. Can you tell us something about it?
Well, it started out with me trying just to create an area here that's on the background for the birds, really, more or less for the ducks, for the local ducks. And once I cleared it, I realized that there were other birds that were coming in. And of course, Adopt a Home for Wildlife got involved, and we actually working hand in hand with the Montserrat National Trust and the Department of Environment. So here we are. We've got 3 areas really, ponds that are home for some of the native birds that you will actually find some only in Montserrat, and some of the stopover birds going to other islands.
Yeah, when I first came here, when your first excavation was dying, I was really impressed. I used to research shorebirds, and as soon as you had these open, the migrant shorebirds were dropping in to feed, which was great. And now there's lots of other things. We had a little walk round earlier yesterday, and as well as having full of what we call moorhens, I think you call gallinules here.
Gallinules, yeah.
And as well as ducks, swallows, sandpiper, merlin overhead catching insects, and all the herons and eaglets. So it's very rich indeed.
Yes.
So what do you have to do to keep it in condition?
Well, because I own an excavator, from time to time we have to really debrush, declutter the ponds. And then make some of the areas very shallow for, like the sandpipers, so they could actually, come and feed or enjoy that little bit of shallowness from the pond.
So yes, I'm presuming you have to plan some sort of regular maintenance.
Well, the Environmental Department and the National Trust, we're trying to put a plan of action in place. So that, because the ponds would need regular maintenance. I've done it on my own quite a few times, but of course it gets expensive because of course it's machinery and fuel and all that kind of thing. So it's just a matter of having some hands on deck to really keep and maintain it.
That's good. And so with this new phase, it's now a year in of Adopt a Home for Wildlife, I think the project officers here have been doing things like surveying for insects and plants.
Yes, they have.
What has that told you?
Well, I mean that there's they were, I think that I saw him. They were down here a few weeks ago doing all this surveying, doing some surveys. So it tells you that, well, for me, it gives a good feel. That one can come down and one can see different insects, different birds, so it's becoming like one of the focal points on Montserrat. Yeah. I did not really envision it would really end up this way, but of course it is definitely a plus for Montserrat.
Definitely, and this shallow coastal wetland is something which Montserrat had some of, but most of them have been lost for various reasons,
Yeah.
whether the volcano or human infilling. So it's really nice to get this back and try and recreate a semi-natural site here.
Yes.
With other help. And I see also, I think you're getting some
sea
plants,
grapes.
plants,
The
sea grapes,
National
not
Trust,
just
they have planted some
Yeah.
sea grapes around of it. We do have a viewing platform that we're gonna actually, it's already in the spot, so we just need to
an official opening.
have a fish. Yes, yes. Put it basically so that people can really come down and enjoy.
Yeah.
So Dwayne, yes, can I just add my congratulations on everything that you've achieved so far, because we know what a lot of hard work it was. The first time we visited you, I think there were casuarinas everywhere and no ponds.
That's
so
right.
look at the
That's
progress
right,
you've
yes.
made.
Yes.
Yes. So going on in the future, this is going to be your main pond, or are you in fact planning on doing any other little
Well,
areas?
I'm just gonna. This is gonna be the main one, and then there's two others on the other side that I'm actually trying in the process of widening and creating more space for more birds,
Yes.
more shorebirds, more species to visit.
And what I like about those is you very cleverly put them at several levels. So wherever the water level is,
Yes.
there should be some wet areas, which
Yes,
is just
yes.
what the birds need.
Yes.
That's beautifully done.
Yes.
Yeah, what a fantastic job you've been doing here. But what a task you've taken on. And yeah, just keep going, because
Yes.
what you're doing is great.
Well, thank you. Well, maybe if I had put it this way, I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. As I say, it started out by me just trying to create an area just for the ducks. And nature, we had some real heavy rains a few years ago. Nature helped to establish this bigger pond. And since we have, with the help of the Montserrat Department of Environment, National Trust, etc., we widen it somewhat. So it's just a matter of now, it's already established, so it's just a matter of maintaining.
Yeah, and knowing how often to do the maintenance.
Well, I think because of how the growth of the plants down here, you probably might have to do it, I would say maybe every 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
So maybe 2-3 times a year.
So on a sort of rotation.
And a rotation.
So
yes.
you still have all the habitats.
Yes.
Farm. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess you wouldn't have to clear all the pond in
No,
one go.
no.
One time you could clear this bit here,
Right.
and another time you could
Yes.
clear that bit there,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
just keep it manageable and under
Just
control.
manageable, yes,
Great.
because they're just some invasive plants, like these. They just take over the pond, and you're not seeing the birds, and So it's just a matter of probably just trying to create some areas
Yes.
that you can actually see the birds and enjoy looking at them.
And in a more natural situation, then this would be kept open by the breaking of the sea and the river flow.
And the
But
river flow, yes.
Obviously now you're having to help nature out a bit to keep
Yes.
that going.
Yes.
Yes. Well done.
Yeah.
No,
Thank you.
this is a really impressive piece of work actually, and the fact that you can do it in combination with your golf course and potentially your buildings here, I think is really great.
Yeah. I'll have a beach bar. I'm actually going to have, that is the main one, and then there's this secondary one. That would be it's a boat, but I'll turn it into a bar. So it would be a little not unique to the Caribbean, because I've seen it in other places, but definitely it would be unique to Montserrat.
Yeah. Well, I probably shouldn't say this, but the idea of bird watching with a glass of wine in my hand sounds very attractive.
Definitely, definitely.
And what is great is that you're clearly creating employment and business opportunities here.
Yes.
I mean, people come and use your golf course. We've seen you and your colleague out with the mower this morning.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
It's great.
And a few of us played golf this morning, And I think with the Salem reunion coming up, there'll be a lot more people, coming, visiting down here to see the birds, to play golf, to enjoy the beach, So it's one of the ideal spots, locations on Montserrat.
Well, we're really pleased to work with you on this and with other partners too. And we look forward to sort of following through and how things progress. Our current funding is for a 3-year project. We're 1 year in, so we hope to be a lot more we can collaborate with. And of course, after our project's finished, then the National Trust will, I'm sure, continue this interest and involvement with you, which is great.
I'm sure they will.
Thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Dwayne.